Hi everybody, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 303. I am so happy that you're here today and I hope that your day is going great. We are going to be reading out of 2 Kings chapter 20, Daniel chapter 11, and then we'll close out the day with the third letter of John by reading 3rd John. So let's get started with 2 Kings chapter 20. Hopefully my mouth will work today. We shall see. Here we go. In those days, Hezekiah was sick and dying. Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz, came to him and said to him, Yahweh says, set your house in order, for you will die and not live. Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed to Yahweh, saying, Remember now, Yahweh, I beg you, how I have walked before you in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in your sight. And Hezekiah wept bitterly. Before Isaiah had gone out into the middle part of the city, Yahweh's word came to him, saying, Turn back and tell Hezekiah, the prince of my people, Yahweh, the God of David your father, says, I have heard your prayer. I have seen your tears, and behold, I will heal you. On the 3rd day you will go up to Yahweh's house. I will add to your days 15 years, and I will deliver you and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. I will defend this city for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. Isaiah said, Take a cake of figs. They took and laid it on the boil, and he recovered. And Hezekiah said to Isaiah, What will be the sign that Yahweh will heal me, and that I will go up to Yahweh's house on the 3rd day? Isaiah said, This will be the sign to you from Yahweh, that Yahweh will do the thing that he has spoken. Should the shadow go forward 10 steps, or back 10 steps? Hezekiah answered, It is a light thing for the shadow to go forward 10 steps. No, but let the shadow return backward 10 steps. Isaiah the prophet cried to Yahweh, and he brought the shadow 10 steps backwards, by which it had gone down on the sundial of Ahaz. At that time, Berodach Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present to Hezekiah, for he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick. Hezekiah listened to them and showed them all verse 13. Hezekiah listened to them and showed them all the storehouse of his precious things, the silver, the gold, the spices, and the precious oil, and the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in the house or in all his dominion that Hezekiah didn't show them. Then Isaiah the prophet came to King Hezekiah and said to him, What did these men say? From where did they come to you? And Hezekiah said, They have come from a far country, even from Babylon. And he said, What have they seen in your house? And Hezekiah answered, They have seen all that is in my house. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not shown them. Isaiah said to Hezekiah, Hear Yahweh's word. Behold, the days come that all that is in your house and that which your fathers have laid up in store to this day will be carried to Babylon. Nothing will be left, says Yahweh. They will take away some of your sons, who will issue from you, whom you will father, and they will be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Then Hezekiah said to Isaiah, Yahweh's word which you have spoken is good. He said, moreover, Isn't it so, if peace and truth will be in my days? Now the rest of the acts of Hezekiah and all his might, and how he made the pool and the conduit, and brought water into the city. Aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? Hezekiah slept with his fathers, and Manasseh, his son, reigned in his place. Wow. Hezekiah, what were you thinking? All right. Moving into Daniel chapter 11. Oh, yeah, we left on a cliffhanger. Here we go. As for me, in the first year of Darius the Mede, I stood up to confirm and strengthen him. Now I will show you the truth. Behold, 3 more kings will stand up in Persia. The 4th will be far richer than all of them. When he has grown strong through his riches, he will stir up all against the realm of Greece. A mighty king will stand up, who will rule with great dominion and do according to his will. When he stands up, his kingdom will be broken and will be divided toward the 4 winds of the sky, but not to his prosperity, nor according to his dominion with which he ruled, for his kingdom will be plucked up, even for others besides these. The kings of the south will be strong. One of his princes will become stronger than him and have dominion. His dominion will be a great dominion. At the end of years, they will join themselves together, and the daughter of the king of the south will come to the king of the north to make an agreement, but she will not retain the strength of her arm. He will also not stand, nor will his arm, but she will be given up with those who brought her, and who became the father of her, and he who strengthened her in those times. But out of the shoot from her roots, one will stand up in his place, who will come to the army and will enter into the fortress of the king of the north, and will carry deal against them and will prevail. He will also carry their gods with their molten images and with their godly vessels of silver and gold captive into Egypt. He will refrain some years from the king of the north. He will come into the realm of the king of the south, but he will return into his own land. His sons will wage war and will assemble a multitude of great forces which will come on and overflow and pass through. They will return and wage war, even to his fortress. The king of the south will be moved with anger and will come out to fight with him, even with the king of the north. He will send out a great multitude, and the multitude will be given into his hand. The multitude will be carried off, and his heart will be exalted. He will cast down tens of thousands, but he won't prevail. The king of the north will return and will send out a multitude greater than the former. He will come on at the end of the times, even of years, with a great army and with abundant supplies. In those times, many will stand up against the king of the south. Also, the children of the violent among your people will lift themselves up to establish divisions, but they will fall. So the king of the north will come and cast up a mound and take a well-fortified city. The forces of the south won't stand, neither will his select troops, neither will there be any strength to stand. But he who comes against him will do according to his own will, and no one will stand before him. He will stand in the glorious land, the destruction will be in his hand. He will set his face to come with the strength of the whole kingdom, and with him equitable conditions. He will perform them. He will give him the daughter of women to destroy the kingdom, but she will not stand, and won't be for him. After this, he will turn his face to the islands, and will take many, but a prince will cause the reproach offered by him to cease. Yes, moreover, He will cause his reproach to turn on him, and then he will turn his face toward the fortress of his own land, but he will stumble and fall, and won't be found. Then one who will cause a tax collector to pass through the kingdom to maintain its glory will stand up in his place. But within few days he shall be destroyed, not in anger and not in battle. In his place a contemptible person will stand up, to whom they had not given the honor of the kingdom, but he will come in time of security, and will obtain the kingdom by flatteries. The overwhelming forces will be overwhelmed from before him, and will be broken. Yes, also the prince of the covenant. After the treaty made with him, he will work deceitfully, for he will come up and will become strong with few people. In time of security, he will come even on the fattest places of the province. He will do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' fathers. He will scatter among them prey, plunder, and wealth. Yes, he will devise his plans against the strongholds, but only for a time. He will stir up his power with his courage against the king of the south with a great army, and the king of the south will wage war in battle with an exceedingly great and mighty army. But he won't stand, for they will devise plans against him. Yes, those who eat of his delicacies will destroy him, and his army will be swept away. Many will fall down slain. As for both these kings, their hearts will be to do evil, and they will speak lies at one table, but it won't prosper, for the end will still be at the appointed time. Then he will return into his land with great wealth. His heart will be against the holy covenant, and he will take action and return to his own land. He will return at the appointed time and come into the south, but it won't be in the latter time as it was in the former. For ships of Kittim will come against him. Therefore he will be grieved, and will return and have indignation against the holy covenant, and will take action. He will even return and have regard to those who forsake the holy covenant. Forces from him will profane the sanctuary, even the fortress, and will take away the continual burnt offering. Then they will set up the abomination that makes desolate. He will corrupt those who do wickedly against the covenant by flatteries. But the people who know their God will be strong and take action. Those who are wise among the people will instruct many, yet they will fall by the sword and by flame, by captivity and by plunder many days. Now when they fall, they will be helped with a little help, but many will join themselves to them with flatteries. Some of those who are wise will fall, to refine them, and to purify, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for the time appointed. The king will do according to his will. He will exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and will speak marvelous things against the God of gods. He will prosper until the indignation is accomplished, for that which is determined will be done. He won't regard the gods of his fathers, or the desire of women, or regard any god, for he will magnify himself above all. But in their place he will honor the God of fortresses. He will honor a God whom his fathers didn't know, with gold, silver, and with precious stones and pleasant things. He will deal with the strongest fortress by the help of the foreign god. He will increase with glory whoever acknowledges him. He will cause them to rule over many, and will divide the land for a price. At the time of the end of the king of the south will contend with him. Let me start that over. Verse 40. At the time of the end, the king of the south will contend with him, and the king of the north will come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots, with horsemen, and with many ships. He will enter into the countries and will overflow and pass through. He will enter also into the glorious land, and many countries will be overthrown. But these will be delivered out of his hand: Edom, Moab, and the chief of the children of Ammon. He will also stretch out his hand on other countries. The land of Egypt won't escape, but he will have power over the treasures of gold and of silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt. The Libyans and the Ethiopians will follow his steps, but news out of the east and out of the north will trouble him, and he will go out with great fury to destroy and utterly to sweep away many. He will plant the tents of his place between the sea and the glorious holy mountain. Yet he will come to his end, and no one will help him. What do you think about that? I would love to know what you think about that. I'm going to move on to John's third letter, chapter 1, and being that it is the only chapter in John's third letter, we're going to finish it today. So here we go. I got to shake off Daniel. Whew. All right. The elder to Gaius, the beloved, whom I love in truth. Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be healthy, even as your soul prospers. For I rejoiced greatly when brothers came and testified about your truth, even as you walk in truth. I have no greater joy than this, to hear about my children walking in truth. Beloved, you do a faithful work in whatever you accomplish for those who are brothers and strangers. They have testified about your love before the assembly, and you will do well to send them forward on their journey in a way worthy of God, because for the sake of the name they went out, taking nothing from the Gentiles. We therefore ought to receive such, that we may be fellow workers for the truth. I wrote to the assembly, but Diotrephes, who loves to be first among them, doesn't accept what we say. Therefore, if I come, I will call attention to his deeds, which he did, and which he does, unjustly accusing us with wicked words. Not content with this, he doesn't receive the brothers himself, and those who would, he forbids and throws out of the assembly. Beloved, don't imitate that which is evil, but that which is good. He who does good is of God, and he who does evil hasn't seen God. Demetrius has the testimony of all, and of the truth itself. Yes, we also testify, and you know that our testimony is true. I had many things to write to you, but I am unwilling to write to you with ink and pen. But I hope to see you soon. Then we will speak face to face. Peace be to you. The friends greet you. Greet the friends by name. Aww. And who is this Diotrephes? That's it. I probably am really not pronouncing that correctly. For those of you who are curious, it's Diotrephes. So for me, that looks like Diotrephes, who loves to be first among them. Oh, it never fails. written so long ago, but it just seems like now. Oh, anyways, thank you everybody for stopping by today. Please come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 304. Have the most fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.